don't bury the lead, Rich. The FBI had a secret airplane flying over, and we here on this program released the video before the FBI ever did. Then the FBI finally had to admit it. It showed everything that you just talked about. They had the FBI operator testify under seal, and even that testimony was stricken from the record because they wanted to cover up the fact, it is my contention, that they were likely spying on all the riots that year. They were sucking up cell phone signals. They were sucking up everything. They were running confidential operations on within U.S. boundaries, and they never told anyone about it. Sorry, had to throw down on that, Rich, since you brought it up.
What else would they have been doing? And the important point you just made is that they didn't acknowledge or release it until they were forced to. And again, with talking about, the fact they were informants and sources, confidential sources and assets on the ground during January 6th, in and of itself is something we actually asked about. When we polled the difference between America and the District of Columbia, we asked people, how likely is it that, the FBI had people on the ground, may perhaps instigating? You would find a significant percentage in the rest of the country compared to what would be the potential jury pool in D.C. So it's like not just the FBI, the entire process was rigged against these people, Jack. And that research several lawyers wanted to use for their clients who were J6 defendants, and the judge would not let them. We were contacted by several people. Hey, can we use this? Is this something we can, use with your permission? Or maybe even do you want to do some more research to dig deeper? We'd retain you. It didn't matter. The judge wasn't hearing it. They weren't open to the idea that the DC jury pool was a lot less skeptical about the potential role the FBI played, which again, now we know is the truth. When we would ask people in DC, you're talking about single digits, Jack, who would say that this wasn't an insurrection, who would, entertain the concept or the idea that maybe the FBI played some role here in instigation. They were almost unanimous compared to even at the worst of times and where it was the most favorable narrative for Democrats. The country was still roughly split, give or take 55-45. And then that got worse for them over time. They lost control of that narrative. But the fact that research existed and people were not allowed to use it in their own defense is a travesty in and of itself. Obviously, they were not going to have a credible jury pool. And this is something myself, people like Robert Barnes, we've been arguing this for years. That entire jurisdiction, Jack, needs to be reformed and or abolished. Just abolished altogether. Because when you're talking about politically charged cases, they are absolutely incapable of giving people a fair trial. Or on the other side of the spectrum than that.